Hi, this is Steve Penk and welcome to Radio Nightmares, a selection of radio moments that didn't quite go according to plan. For a few years, I hosted some shows for ITV that featured bloopers from TV shows around the world. This is a weekly podcast and celebration of some great radio nightmare moments. Fluffed lines, nightmare guests, technical problems, fit of the giggles, and most of all, just the genuine fun radio nightmares can be. Not so much at the time for the actual broadcaster, but for those listening, sometimes the highlight of any radio programme. Take a listen and enjoy. We start with one of my personal favourite radio nightmares, featuring the always wonderful Ken Bruce and John Marsh on Radio 2. This is just brilliant.
The news at 11 o'clock. This is John Marsh. Safety campaigners have repeated their warnings about the dangers of fireworks after a prankster tried to launch a powerful rocket from his backside. The 22-year-old man suffered serious internal injuries when the Black Cat Thunderbolt rocket ignited during the bonfire night stunt at Monk Wearmouth in Sunderland. Education officials in Pakistan got a surprise when they went to inspect a school near Hyderabad. Instead of classes of pupils, they found only chickens. The authorities say it appears to be used as a poultry production centre for the last 12 years. That's the news. Not a moment before time. We're going to have more.
Stop it!
That is 12 o'clock.
You're killing us, John. Stop it, please. Well, no, go home now. You've done enough.
A coroner in Kendal has returned an open verdict on a joiner who's thought to have shot himself in the head with a nail gun. Michael Holden was described by the coroner, Ian Smith, as a troubled young man, but said no one could know what was going through his mind at the time. Martin Lewis was at the inquest.
Barring him from retaining his seat in the House of Lords. You're actually not going to believe this, but I have just lost the rest of my news bulletin, which is... I think I may have thrown it in the bin. I do beg your pardon. No. I'm so sorry, this is completely unprofessional. I have got a load of papers in front of me. Okay. But that's my... Right, I now have found it. I'm so sorry about that.
Now, a difficult man to forget, but well worth the effort. Who is this? Steve Penk.
This is Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares. Now, one thing you need to be very careful of when you're live on the radio is how you pronounce certain words. You need to be nice and clear. Here, the word he's actually saying is currant, as in the fruit. Black currant.
You can actually work out whether it's likely to be poisonous or not. When we were in Tibet, we came across what was obviously to us a black currant. Now, the locals knew gooseberry-like things and red currant-like things, but they'd never seen a black currant-like things. Yeah. So the locals were very wary, and we just stuffed ourselves.
They wouldn't eat it.
Because we knew that any currant, like any bramble-type plant, is edible. So if you know that, you don't usually make too many mistakes.
Georgie Wordsley is master of the Old Surrey and Burstow and West Kent hunt. Is out hunting this morning in Lingfield in Surrey. Good morning.
Good morning to you. That's a bit of a slip of the tongue.
I know, I do apologise for that. It's very early in the morning and these things do happen and I feel exceptionally embarrassed about it and I'm going to have to try and proceed with the interview.
What the devil is a wadget?
It's a pet from Neopet.
Can you just do us a favour? You give your phone a bang or something, or give it a clean with some...
take the sock off that you're talking through.
Hello?
I've got a hair-ripping glass palette, so it might sound strange.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
all right, sorry about that, because we just thought it was a really bad...
Hi guys, Charlie the Mariner here. I've read that on the Hereford Fans Forum that Mike Hock will be out.
That's why we don't let you read texts and emails.
Hockless, right. I think it is.
Yes,
Hockless.
Mike Hockless.
Okay, let's get to our first dedication. Dear Chris, please say a big hello to Connie Lingers, who's 69 on Tuesday. She'll be enjoying my meat and two veg on Sunday at 12, which are all the very best, and tell her I look forward to seeing her when she comes. Thanks ever so much, says Ivan Ardon. And he says, please say hello to Bill as well. And that comes from Ivan going out to Connie in Thurmby Lodge here in Leicestershire.
You know they say that blood is thicker than water. Well, here's a man that's thicker than both. Steve Penk.
This is Steve Penk's Radio Nightmares, and this is singer James Taylor.
A moment of changing course for me.
And you blew George Benson off, as a manner of speaking?
Now that I don't remember.
He was the headline act, wasn't he? And then you changed places.
I don't know. I can't remember. No, George was on the bill too. Oh, there was the most.
The Pacific nation of Tonga has begun a period of mourning following the sudden death of a controversial son of the king. Former Prince Fatafehi Alaivahama Mao Tukuahu, the second son of King Taufa Ahautopu, was stripped of his title after he fled the kingdom and married a commoner. He's thought to have died of a heart attack on Tuesday.
BBC Radio 4, the news at 8 o'clock. The chairman of the Commons Committee investigating BBC allegations that the government exaggerated its evidence over Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction has accused the reporter involved, Andrew Gilligan. I apologise for this. Somebody's left their telephone in the studio. So sorry. I'll start again. The chairman of the Commons Committee investigating BBC allegations that the government
So if you do get stuck in a lot of traffic, at least you can get out and spread your legs a bit. And no, God, that wasn't meant to be said.
Steve Penk. Nobody thinks more highly of him than I do, and that'll give you some idea, because I think he's a tit.
American historians have discovered what they think is the earliest recording of the human voice, made on a device which scratched sound waves onto paper blackened by smoke. It was made in 1860, 17 years before Thomas Edison first demonstrated the gramophone, and featured an excerpt from a French song, Au clair de la lune. The award-winning screenwriter Abby Mann has died at the age of 80. He won an Academy Award in 1961 for Judgment at Nuremberg. Abby Mann also won several Emmys, including one in 1973 for a film which featured a police detective called the character on whom a long-running TV series was eventually based.
Hello, Clive Connor here with Music and Memories. Our theme for this week is Come, spelt C-O-M-E. But to start the programme, we have an entirely different spelling of that word, because it's Tommy Handley singing Come, Pretty One, Come.
Oh, so numb, a big fat girl said as she dived off my dum. Come, pretty one, come, pretty one, come, 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 come. Come, 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 come. Come, pretty one, come, pretty one.
That's Wham. Wake me up before you go. You're with BBC Radio Gloucestershire, and the other day I had a hankering for an unhealthy snack. I really wanted to fill my gaping maw with salty, fatty nastiness. So I had a packet of... Isn't it terrible when you get packet and biscuits stuff?
Okay then.
I'm sorry, Ian through the glass is absolutely killing himself. Anyway, stop it. I can still see you, Ian. Stop it. Anyway, so I had a packet of biscuits.
The junior driver, he'd be about late 20s, early 30s.
Right,
yeah.
So there were young men as well.
Some young men, some characters, yeah, there were some good ones. There were some grumpy old twats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were some good ones, yeah.
You know they say that blood is thicker than water. Well, here's a man that's thicker than both. Steve Penk.
Hello, Mary.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah. Hello.
Shep's Banjo Boys, you remember him?
Yes, I do.
They were dead famous for a while, weren't they? What was that? Was it the comedians? They used to be the turn that opened and closed the show. Yeah. Have you got, can you play us a bit?
Yeah, just hang on a minute.
Is it a record, or are you playing the banjo yourself? She said hang on a minute. We're going at 12, Mary. Are you cranking it up here? It's a listening tube, not falling off. Yeah. Shall we come back to you, Mary? Steve's just said she's putting it on the radiogram, which is conjures up a whole... We used to have a radiogram, thought it was fantastic. Yeah. It's the size of one wall.
It was funny, yeah.
You got it on the wrong speed, Mary! Either that or Shep's Banjo Boys were on speed.
This is what they want!
Oh, but Mary, you're making us look silly here now.
What are you doing, Mary?
In sport, Harry gets his men, as Capital FM told you first. West Ham have signed stay-away striker Paolo Di Canio, and Cameroon's Marc-Vivien Foe. Boss Harry Redknapp is very happy with it all.
They were the two players I wanted.
The weather tonight like this. Damp. Lows 6 and 43. Drizzly to start tomorrow. But it'll be sunny later.
Harry Redknapp. That's an absolute gem. Why? What were you thinking about?
I think if you rewind the tape, you'll hear I said Harry Redknapp. Not I'll just get on with the show.
Harry Redknapp, that's an all-time classic.
This is your birthday bonanza station, 95.8 Capital FM, London.
At 7, Tokyo woes and Hong Kong horrors. Finance fears here as East shares dip east. Let's read that again, shall we? Tokyo woes and Hong Kong horrors. Finance fears here as Far East shares dip and dive. I do beg your pardon for this. We've been trying to set up a line interview before the news. Live online from the city, Chase Manhattan's Adrian Smith. Let's see if he's there. Adrian, are you there? Adrian, are you there? No, he's not. Okay, good-o. Pammy Anderson's court ordeal is over. She's being sued for quitting a movie claiming the sex scenes were too graphic. The decision on exactly the verdict there is still to be made. Lawyer Adam Miller says the claims that she's making are not true.
Hi, this is Homer Simpson.
Well, that's very good, isn't it? Thank you to our amazing computer system here that actually when you put one thing into it, something else comes out.
Oh, the wonderful Howard Hughes. Thanks, Howard. So I hope you enjoyed the first of our Radio Nightmares. Hit the subscribe button to hear more, and I'll leave you this time with the hugely talented Andrew White doing his hilarious impression of Howard Hughes. See you next time.
This is 95.8 Capital FM, London.
At 8:07, a complete breakdown in all my studio systems. Trouble came about 2 minutes past 8 when everything just stopped working, all the buttons seized up, and the computer crashed again. Experts have not ruled out the Millennium Bug as the potential cause. On the line now from American radio station WPXYTKQ 107.3, the hottest music, Doug Zarby. Doug, what do you know?
I'm sorry, I don't know. Who is this?
It's Howard. Howard Hughes. Right. From London. I came over and borrowed a copy of your jingles once.
Howard, it's 4 in the morning.
Never mind, we'll return to that story later. Meanwhile, on this button over here, I should have company spokesperson Russ Kane.
Absolutely ghastly as a... I'll take a Hoover building. It's gleaming in the sunlight. Land the plane! Oh, land the plane!
Well, I'm sorry, we'll have more on that story as it breaks throughout the day. London's weather, yes, from Leicester Square with loads of compression. This is Howard Hughes.